Can you feel the love tonight? Can you feel the love tonight? That's 7 syllables. Literally translated as kei te rongo koe te aroha I tēnei pō. That's like a whole 15 syllables.
Yeah.
But, so we actually had to find translations that could actually fit into that 7 syllable line, that hook that everybody knows and loves.
And we are joined in the studio right now by a very, very talented individual. They're the music director for the Lion King Reo Māori. Please welcome the incredible Pere Wihongi.
Mauri ora e te whānau, kia ora.
Oh, Pere, I'm so excited to have you in here. I am absolutely obsessed with you, and I love watching all your stuff on TikTok.
Oh, don't even get me started. I was
TikTok,
literally just
Instagram.
telling her. She posted the net seats for
the
babies. Bouncer net seats the other day. I wanted a bouncer net seat, and I don't even have kids.
Yeah.
That's how good you are.
Oh, thanks.
How much I love your work,
I'll
girl.
take it.
Do we need one of those for adults, though?
We
I
do.
reckon.
These seats are kind of like those nets. I was just telling her, I was like, oh my God.
Imagine getting on the rack with your friends and whānau and you're all just bloody bouncing around with each
I
other.
love that.
Should we bounce
It'd be
for
a
the
good
rest of the
time.
interview?
Adult size net seats.
We should. That could be our thing.
Take my money. Take my money.
This is probably not going to work for me.
No, neither
I'm
for me. I've got an
it's going to
upset tummy.
distract me.
You just put it next to your baby's net seat and you guys can just both
Bounce.
sit there and rock around.
What a dream. That would be so good. Now, there are so many things to talk to you about. First of all, best Instagram handle, Perionce. Love it.
Oh, nice.
I had to.
And you have just been over in LA working on the Lion King Reo Māori, and holy hell, tell us about this trip because it looks so good.
You know what? It was absolutely mind-blowing, and I think the whole experience has taken my vision on sound from like 2D to 3D.
Wow.
And just in terms of how they place sound, how they work with sound, and just the way they even view sound. It's like absolutely amazing, and we were really lucky to get into the Disney studios and work with, I guess, the recordings that we've gathered here in Te Reo, and then seeing how they also like knead it into the finer picture and the wider picture of this amazing animation. And let's be honest, it's one of the greats.
It is one of the
in
greats.
terms of animation, and so we're really lucky to work on that project in itself, but just the lessons that have come from that experience have been second to none and actually unforgettable. So really, really lucky.
And how was it like when you're walking around? It must be surreal to be over there and you're just surrounded by, the Disney logo and things.
Oh, you're so right.
It'd be so weird.
They've got big halls and giant, like it's honestly like halls on steroids. Like, they've got hospital-sized studios just for sound. And then another hospital-sized studio just for animation. And so, I'm walking around and every little echo that I'm hearing, I'm like, can you feel the love? Trying to get someone's attention over there or something like that. But it's crazy.
And it must be an incredible feeling as well to see Te Reo Māori having this incredible platform with Moana and now with the Lion King too.
For myself personally, it's full circle. LionKing was the
circle of life.
Yeah, the full circle of life. There it is. Lion King was the first movie I ever went to watch in the cinemas.
Wow.
And actually it was the first kind of production that ever provoked emotion. It actually made me cry as a little 3-year-old. And I didn't actually know that movies or cinema could do that to me. So for me to work on this project now and in Te Reo, I was excited for all the young Reo Māori speaking babies who could now understand this film in their own language.
And see themselves in there as well.
Yeah, that's
it's bloody beautiful. Is it quite a process taking all the songs and all the words and changing it into Te Reo Māori?
It is. Yeah. It is. It's very strenuous, I will say, because you're not just translating,
exactly,
right? And also to that, the Lion King score, the Lion King collection of music is the best, in my humble opinion. And all of the animations that I've ever watched, Lion King has the best musical score, and so, and it's a score that's been in people's brains for the last 25 plus years.
Yeah.
And so it's our duty to maintain those musical nuances and those musical hooks, and not kind of change them just for the sake of fitting in the translation.
Exactly, because there'll be some times where a sentence in Te Reo Māori has a lot more syllables than an English sentence.
You're on to
and
it.
so that's what I don't get. But with a song like Hakuna Matata, what's that in Te Reo Māori?
Well, because that's in,
I was going to say,
in
that
Afrikaans,
sounds,
it's actually Zulu. We kept to the original
beauty.
language.
Oh.
The only thing we translated was the English language.
Right.
So keeping to Hakuna Matata and then actually changing what a wonderful phrase, wara wara rawe. And trying to even find the Māori translations that even sounded like the actual original lines.
Beauty.
Can you feel the love tonight? Can you feel the love tonight? That's 7 syllables. Literally translated as kei te rongo koe te aroha I tēnei pō. That's like 15 syllables you trying to cram in there. But so we actually had to find translations that could actually fit into that 7 syllable line, that hook that everybody knows and loves. And so one thing that we did do was also incorporate classical compositions. So songs that were composed by Tainui leaders, Te Puea Herangi, from years ago. Actually, we've incorporated those lines into these translations because, of course, not only are we translating, but we're also including all the different iwi dialects.
Wow.
So all of the lions, they all come from Tainui, which is where the monarchy is, which is where the kingitanga is.
Wow.
And so we were actually incorporating lines from the kingitanga in their traditional songs and putting them into the songs of the lions. So
Any animals from Te Atiawa?
Te Atiawa, actually the closest would probably be Zazu.
Oh my gosh, that's my iwi.
Zazu.
And I'm so similar to Zazu.
Actually, as soon as Pere said that, I was like, it has to be Zazu. Like, of course it is.
Zazu's the western coast and all the way down to, of course, Wellington and Pōneke around. You've got Rafiki, who's from Tūhoi. You've got Timon and Pumbaa, who are my cousins from up north. And then you've also got the hyenas, who are all from Ngāti Kahungunu, the Te Matawa Maui Hastings area, right? So I think that's another beauty to this whole project, is that not only are you hearing Te Reo Māori, but you're hearing in full capacity the different dialects that are in Te Reo.
That's so cool, because there's also, I was thinking about it, when you would be redoing, say, Elton John songs, do you play them for Elton John once you've translated them, or do you just like not let him know, or what happens?
Well, that's a funny thing, I guess, and of all the 43 different languages that have translated The Lion King, Te Reo Māori is the first and the only language to have translated right even to the credits.
Wow.
So even in the credits, you've got Stan Walker, the amazing Stan Walker, the goat himself.
Amazing.
Singing Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And of course, Elton John's version as well. And that was given the sign approval from Elton John himself. And so we actually had to go to Elton, Sir Elton John, and to ask him if we were able to translate, because of course they've got their own arrangements with using his musical scores in the movie. But with the movie in itself, it was really about trying to translate the best that we could and not just, I guess, do any typical translation. It was about trying to find nuances, trying to also connect in sonic sounds, so you're actually almost hearing the English version with the closest Māori similar translations to it.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So much work goes into it. I can't wait to see it. I'm really, really excited to see it. I couldn't come to the premiere last week, and I really want to go and see it in cinemas. So it's really cool that you guys have done this. It's just, I think it's so beautiful. And like, I think if you like, you can, it'll be like I was talking to Stacey Morrison recently about like ways to teach my son like to speak more Māori, and she was saying a really good way to do it is to have him watch like TV shows and movies and stuff. So it's even if you don't speak Te Reo, it's a good opportunity to head along and maybe learn something.
Oh, that's exactly it. I mean, look, you look at Dora. I think I'm full Spanish now. So growing up watching Dora. Oh,
yes, it's so, I would like watch it. You learn so much Spanish from Dora.
No, you do.
It's very good.
Wait, see.
Yeah, you see.
Oh, sorry.
I was
so
like,
sorry.
see what?
I know. But are there any other Disney journeys that you're going to go? Oh, that was not the right way to word my question just then. Are there any other Disney movies or things that you want to do in Reo Māori?
Yeah, well, of course, Lion King is out in cinemas at the moment, and it's been awesome to see a lot of the schools and a lot of the kura are taking our kids to experience this movie at the cinemas, because it's a whole nother experience, right? Yep. When we went over to work with the Disney studios, the majority of our sound capturing and our sound edit work was for wider and bigger sound in cinema.
Cool.
And then, of course, hopefully eventually it will be available on Disney Plus so that you'll be able to watch it. But that's also got a thinner sound. So those are the two kind of differences in terms of the sound we're working on. Of course, once Lion King has dwindled down, we're about to go into translating Frozen.
Aye.
No way.
Cool.
That's
so Frozen's
so
our next
cool.
project that we're starting on within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just
Epic.
working into the translations and everything, and then eventually we'll be going into the studio to work with all the actors and the choir to bring that movie to life. And of course, that movie has its own beauty and relevance to Disney in itself. And then there's another dedication in there in terms of the dialects that we will be using, which is the dialect of Ngaitahu. And so that's our South Island whānau. And of course, because if there's any iwi that could speak to ice,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
snow, our whanauka from Te Waipounamu, they'll have like 7 billion words for different types of ice and different types of cold temperatures and all of that kind of thing. So we are trying to find different relevances and I guess connections as well to the language into these films and into these kaupapa.
How different are all the dialects? Like, are they quite, for you, like, do you have to learn heaps of different versions, or is it only kind of bits and pieces and certain words?
It's actually quite simple, to be honest. It really is. So there's a generic Reo Māori. In some different iwi, there are different words and different grammars that they have that are exclusively to them and that you'd only hear in those regions. But the majority of the time, it does come down to pronunciation. So my whanaunga from up in Te Tai Tokero, instead of saying whakarongo, they'll say hakarongo. So there'll be no whakarongo, you know, and it's the same with the western coast. It'll be wakarongo as opposed to whakarongo. Tūhoe, they'll say whakarono. And there'll be no G. It'll be just N.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
so
is it
there's different.
And is it kind of like, because you notice some people will say Whanganui and some people will say
That's
Whanganui.
exactly it.
So is
So
that just a different...
That's exactly
So
it.
do you know how... Because you see that sometimes, and we have listeners, obviously, in Whanganui, and they ask us to say Whanganui, not Whanganui, but then we, will have...
Other people saying the other
real
thing.
lessons, and they'll say it the other way.
That's it.
So do you think when it's something like that, do you, like a place name, if you're not from, an iwi that has, like me, like I'm Pākehā, so would it be correct for me to say it in the dialect of the local people, or is that only for people that speak that dialect?
That's actually a good question because, when we do look to that, I mean, for myself personally, I would not necessarily speak in that dialect if I'm not from that region or that area. And so I would say whanganui, but it really just depends on, I guess, the area and the people as well. And just it's really how you say it and the respect towards it, I suppose, and just being open. It's a bit of an open context out there.
Yeah.
And so it's just been respectful in any kind of context. I mean, for myself personally, all of my connections relate all up north, and so we're saying hakarongo, we're saying hakapapa, instead of whakapapa and whakarongo and everything like that. But you're right. If you're not from that region, you don't necessarily have to say the dialect from that region as well. It is contextual and it is a reflection of that iwi and of that tribe and of that rohe. But in saying that, I guess it's because I know that with whanganui or Whanganui as well, they've got their own kind of setup in how they lay out their language and how they lay out and encourage others.
Yeah.
And so if they request to go to for everyone to say Whanganui, I'll just say Whanganui.
Okay, cool.
Okay, there we go.
Awesome. Okay, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Pere. Bloody educational stuff here. Now, going back to you and your music, is there anything cooking for us to get our ear holes around?
Yeah, well, I've been really lucky to, I guess, sit under Rob. He's such an amazing composer, an amazing artist. And did you know, he also is an amazing weaver. in
Yes.
terms of flex weaving.
Flex weaving, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
He can make pew. He's actually made my most favorite pew pew design.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's actually so talented, and so I've been really lucky to work with him under all of this kaupapa, and to be under his guidance as well in terms of working in my own craft. And so at the moment I'm working on my own album. We've collated a few of the songs, collaborations with
Awesome.
international artists, all in Te Reo as well.
Wow. Awesome.
So it's really about creating more kind of options out there,
Yeah.
promoting more of Te Reo Māori, but it's also a huge passion of mine. So
Yeah.
simmering away there, and hopefully this summer there'll be
Exciting.
a whole project out there for everyone, and we'll be coming back to you guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
you will. You definitely will.
Absolutely.
Your voice is out the gate, so I cannot wait to hear it. So thank you so much for coming in. We've been wanting to get you in for a while, and when we came back, I was like, right, these are the two people I want to interview. When I saw your name on the Lion King
Yes.
thing, I was like, this is my opportunity. This is great. So thank you so much for coming in. And if you haven't already, make sure you go and check out Lion King in Reo Māori in cinemas now. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands.
Thank you very much, Pere Wihongi.
Thank you guys. Kia ora te whānau.